So our next topic is about variation of temperature, in which we have 6 variation to be discussed. So the first one is the temperature variation. So temperature variation is the amount of solar energy that every area receives varies with the time of day, seasons, and latitude. So these solar energy differences produce variation in temperature that often vary with the topographical surface variation and with altitude. So these changes in temperature now produce forces that in their continuous movement drive the atmosphere. So the second is the diurnal variation. So diurnal variation is the change in temperature brought on by the Earth's regular rotation from day to night. So through solar radiation, Earth absorbs heat throughout the day but continuously loses heat through terrestrial radiation imbalances. So solar radiation exceeds terrestrial radiation during the day and the surface becomes colder, while in the night it ceases now, but terrestrial radiation continues and its surface will cool. So after sunrise, cooling continue until solar radiation reaches terrestrial radiation again. So third is the seasonal variation. So the Earth revolves in a complete orbit around the Sun once each year, diba? So since the axis of the Earth tilts to the plane orbit, the angle of incident solar radiation varies seasonally between hemispheres. So the northern hemisphere is warmer in June, July, and August because it receives more solar energy than does the southern hemisphere. And during December, January, and February, the opposite is true. So the southern hemisphere receives more solar energy and is much warmer. So fourth is the variation with latitude. So the shape of the Earth causes a geographical variation in the angle of incident solar radiation. Since the Earth is essentially spherical, the Sun is more nearly overhead in equatorial regions like Ecuador, so they receive the most radiant energy and are the warmest country. So slanting rays of the Sun at higher latitude delivers less energy over a given area, with the least being received at poles. So the fifth one is the variation with altitude. So the temperature normally decreases with increasing altitude throughout the troposphere. So we all know that the higher the altitude, the lower the temperature will be. So this decrease of temperature with altitude is defined as lapse rate. So ito na remember no na the decrease of temperature with altitude is what we call lapse rate. So the average decrease of the troposphere is 2 degrees Celsius per 1,000 feet, but since this is an average, the exact value seldom exists. So in fact, temperature sometimes increases with height through a layer. So last but not the least is the variation with topography. So the topography of Earth's surface is one of the primary factors that causes our daily weather. So changes in elevation, especially around high mountain ranges, determine the distribution of precipitation on our planet. So bodies of water, especially Earth's oceans, shape our climate and create the high and low pressure system that causes weather events. So but should remember that temperature changes caused by water and terrain are not connected to the motion or the form of the Earth. The next topic is the measurement of temperature. So we have various types of instruments, devices to measure temperature, and one of these is thermometer. So a thermometer measures the degree of hotness or coldness of a given substance. It operates on the principle of thermal expansion of the materials used, just like liquids like mercury and alcohol, and metallic materials, and etc. So, kabalo naman tanan na nakagamit naman guro tag thermometer labi nato sa previous nato na lessons labi na sa laboratory nato sa chemistry. So, the next is Steven sunscreen. So, a Steven sunscreen, also known as instrument shelter, is a meteorological screen that shields instruments against precipitation and direct heat radiation from outside sources while still allowing air to circulate freely around them. And the last one is the maximum-minimum thermometer. A maximum thermometer has a constriction above the bulb that permits the mercury to rise in the capillary tube but does not allow it to descend unless the thermometer is reset. And that's all. Thank you.